What's happening, everybody? Welcome to my channel. It's a little dim, so I'm gonna turn on another light. I apologize for that dark ass thumbnail. Give me 1 second. All right, welcome everybody to my channel. So I want to give a shout out to everybody who's watching, and just welcome everybody who's gonna watch this video on a later date. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. So I just got off of work a little while ago. I took my shower, so my head looks like a big popcorn ball. You know, it's all over. It's whatever. I know it's like a little purpley right now. Let me turn some more lights on because this is like some Pink Floyd shit right here. Woo! I'll play some Pink Floyd then. Fuck it. Just give me 1 second, all right? It's like all purpley out here. I need some bright light. Maybe that'll help a little bit. All right. I don't know if y'all can hear this song, but this is Tesla Love Song. Hey, babe, you want to close that door? I'm going to smoke a cigar. Okay. Ain't no marijuana in here, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Capone's. It's a cigar. My dog looking at me crazy. I have a Chiweenie. Her name's Turtle. How old's Turtle, babe? 8. Turtle's 8. Y'all want to see her? Well. Hey, Turtle. Turtle. Go lay down. Go lay down. Oh, not over there. Come back. Turtle. 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 God dang it. Where are you going? Where are you going? Anyway, she had a trip. That's our baby, man. We've had her since she was a baby. Her name's Turtle. She's a Chiweenie. Alright, so I appreciate everybody turning out, tuning in. I got a little music in the background. If y'all don't know, I'm an old school metalhead. Oh, I dropped my remote. Wait. Man, I dropped my remote. Give me 1 second. God dang it. Well, you're going to have to give me another second because I can't find the damn thing. And then we're going to get to the subject. I'm not perfect, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a human being. Y'all just quit tripping. Where's my dang remote? Man, I lost the fucking remote, babe. I didn't think I needed help, but I can't find it. I got it. It flew under the damn couch. Because I was showing them Turtle. And when I was showing them Turtle, I was trying to turn the music up. And then shit fucking fell. Knock 'em dead. So now I got Motley Crue, Knock 'em Dead playing. I don't know how many of y'all like Motley Crue, Knock 'em Dead, but that's what's up right there. By the way, if y'all got any requests, just hit me up. I'll play them. So today's subject, and I don't want to say I apologize for staying on the LGBTQ community as far as discussion questions, but it's obvious, or maybe it's not so obvious. I am definitely part of the LGBTQ community. So a lot of the things that I discuss on a regular basis, you know, every now and then, well, a lot of things every now and then, but either way, you know, some of the discussions I have with my wife, they tend to come up while we have just got off from work. And, you know, we're talking to each other. We're in the shower. We're having conversations, you know, this and this and that. And all of a sudden, my brain goes, hey, this would be a good conversation to have on YouTube. So, of course I want to do it. I want to have other people understand my point of view. So, I try and at least do one or two of these a week. So it's cool. Uh, Somewhere along the lines, I can't even tell you where the conversation started. Babe, can you remember where the conversation started about the whole old school lesbians and our needs didn't matter? Do you remember where that started? Because I don't. I don't know. I really can't remember where the conversation started, which I wish I could because it would be a really good foundation about the conversation that I'm about to go into. So I guess basically I'm gonna try and do this um in a roundabout way. Um so all right, I'm 41 years old. I was raised in the gay community. I entered the gay community when I was 17. And I entered into the gay community being thrust into the gay community with some old school lesbians. I mean, old school lesbians. Like, these chicks thought there was either lipstick lesbians, as in, like, you got lipstick and ponytails, or you was a butch. And those are the only two worlds they knew. Butch or lipstick. Butch or lipstick. They didn't know no in between. So, I think I kind of remember where I'm going with this, where the conversation started. Um, so I kind of took my cue from the older lesbians that were in my life, and I mean older. Like, they was already great. Like, they had mullets and rat tails, and like they was on their own shit. Like they was like boom, like they was like John Goodman dykes. John Goodman. That may be old school for y'all too. Like, John Goodman, look up, the Roseanne show, John Goodman. Like, they was like John Goodman dykes. Like, they weighed like 200 pounds with like mullets and rat tails. Like, those were like, they was ready to fuck you up. You know what I mean? Like, big bitches, like softball bitches, like basketball bitches that weighed about another 100 pounds. They took on the dominant male. The dominant trait in the household. They took on the masculine trait in the household. And there was only two worlds when I was growing up in the gay community. Either you're masculine or you're feminine. And if you were feminine, most of the time the women already had children. And if you were masculine, you took on the role of, and a lot of men may not agree with this shit, and they may not understand, and that's cool. Like, for those of these men that are tuning in, that's cool. Y'all need to understand where I'm coming from as an old school lesbian woman. The older school lesbian woman took on the trait of the head of household, the father, the man, the problem solver, the bill payer. I'm the mechanic. I'm the plumber. I'm the fixer of the house. So these masculine men took on that role, while the feminine women raised the children, cleaned the house, took care of everything as far as the house was considered. And the masculine women did all the work and paid the bills. And they were also the disciplinarians when the feminine women couldn't get through to the other children of the household. Now, mind you, it's obvious that the masculine women, in most cases, there were some cases, Now, don't quote me on this because there's a lot of women who ended up being masculine lesbians, had children biologically. They had their own children, but they chose to be the masculine women. But the other masculine women in the household took on the role of the masculine, the male role of the household. So they were the disciplinarians. So there they are trying to discipline the children of the household who weren't theirs. A lot of these children where I was growing up didn't have fathers. And ladies and gentlemen, the black community is not the only one missing men in the households. Mexican men also disappeared from the house. So please don't get this shit twisted. A lot of Mexican men, they weren't worth a fuck. They disappeared, didn't pay child support, didn't work, worked under the table so they didn't have to claim taxes, this and that. So, ladies and gentlemen, black men were not the only ones who were absent from the household. There are a lot of Mexican men who were also, and to this day, are absent from the house. So please don't get it twisted. So, a lot of Mexican, Hispanic men were also absent from the household. And so a lot of our women stepped up and took the role of, now don't get me wrong, I never said I'm a man. I was kind of in my mind thinking that at one point maybe I was gonna, switch my genders. I thought about having, hormonal therapy and all this other stuff, but once these masculine women, dominant women, entered into a household where the woman was by herself and she had children, they swooped it up and said, I'm going to help you take care of these children. I'm going to help you raise these children. I'm going to help you pay your bills. I'm going to help you do all the things that these men couldn't do. And they took on that role because in their minds and in their bodies, they were just dominant and they were more masculine than feminine. So they took on these roles. And this is coming from a 41-year-old woman who is a dominant, feminine, lesbian woman of the times right now. Being raised back in those times, I was taught, if this is how you're going to look and this is how you're going to act, this is what you're going to do. You're going to cut your hair and wear these boys' clothes. And you're going to fuck around with these girls. This is what you're going to do. You're going to provide. Because as a dominant female, you're going to provide for your household. You're going to provide for these children. You're going to be the disciplinarian that they've never had or they don't have anymore. You're going to be the head of the household. So a lot of us old school lesbians took on that role because that's what we were supposed to do. Now, taking on that role took on a lot of responsibilities. We worked and we worked and we worked. And we laid that fucking fist down and we disciplined these kids. And we tried to show them right from wrong. And we tried to be the best parent that we thought that they needed based on the environment we were in. Now, being a dominant female and being a butch lesbian back in those days meant that our needs went unrecognized. I'm 41 years old. There's lesbians that are older than me who could probably relate to this because I learned from them. There were lesbians back in the day when I was in my 20s and they already gray haired. They were already all wrinkled up and shit, working their ass off. They already had grandkids. They already had godchildren. You know what I mean? But none of them was theirs. They took on a woman who had another family and they tried to help provide for those other women and their families. Now, the biggest problem we have as a community back in the days was overlooking our own needs as butch, butch, dominant females of the LGBTQ LGBTQ community. Being a butch woman back in the days, being a dyke, being a butch, meant you could not feel no pain. You could not feel no fucking frustration. You could not feel no sadness. You couldn't feel shit. You just needed to work, whoop the next bitch who was trying to fuck with you and your woman, pay all the bills, make sure your woman was good. Like, we had a lot of standards that we needed to live up to. And they may not seem like a lot. But ladies and gentlemen, when you was trying to live a role and you still had baby daddies and ex-husbands and ex-boyfriends and whatever coming into your woman's life telling her, you still love me, you want that dick, you know you want that dick, this and that, like, you had to deal with all that shit. I know how many of these women back in the day had they women going back and forth from their baby daddy and their ex-husband coming back and forth with them because these women just couldn't make up their mind about what they wanted to be, who they wanted to be with. So us women had to fucking deal with those women being confused while we're raising their children, helping them with their homework, keeping them fed, keeping them clothed, paying the bills. Like, it's just some shit, bro. It was some shit. So, in the meantime, check this out. And this is the hardest part y'all people don't understand. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. The hardest part, when I was talking to my wife about the things that I had to go through, she said, we were having a conversation, and she said, well, babe, where did the conversation start? Where was the main, what was the main point where you said, well, what about you?
Because you said it was a butch thing back in your days, and it was all about you pleasing the woman.
Yeah, it was all about the butch woman pleasing the other woman. And my wife said, well,
what about your feelings?
What about your feelings? Oh my God.
It's not all about the other person. You have to meet half and half.
My wife said, what about your feelings? Now, mind you, my wife and me are only off about 4 years, right, babe? 4 years?
Yeah.
So we're only off about 4 years, okay? So when she said, I'm going to turn the music back on. When she said, what about your feelings? I said, what about my feelings? What about our feelings? I said, I'm so glad you asked me that, babe. Because honestly, in all the years that I have been in the LGBT community, I have never been asked about my feelings. As a gay woman, as a butch woman, as a lesbian woman, I have never been asked about my feelings until I married this woman. And I told her, I was like, you know what? Us type of butch women back in the day, our feelings did not matter. In my opinion, in the place I grew up in, we were never asked about our feelings. Nobody cared about our feelings. Our feelings didn't matter. So this rose another thing in my mind. When I told her, that's a good question, babe. I said, in actuality, that raises another thing in my mind to think of. And I asked her, I said, babe, now mind you, there's a 4-year difference. 4 years could mean a lot, it couldn't mean nothing. I was raised around a lot of lesbians who did not want to be touched down there. Old school lesbians don't want to be touched down there. They don't like to nothing down there. It's all about the other woman. It's all about the other woman's wants, the other woman's needs, the other woman's pleasure. Now, when it's all about the other person, it's pretty obvious that your needs are put on hold. Your needs don't mean shit. And that's how I was raised. Because the one thing that sticks in my mind that my aunt told me a long time ago, you give that woman whatever she needs no matter what the cost. And that resonates with me today. I wasn't even 21 yet. And I took that and I held it to my motherfucking soul. You give that woman whatever she wants no matter what the cost. That means my needs don't matter. For 10 fucking years, I was walked on, I was cheated on, I was lied to, I was done all kinds of fucking dirty. Because in my mind, I was taught wrong. I was taught that my needs don't matter, that the other person's needs matter. Now, to these women, and some of them obviously were probably sexually abused when they were so young, whatever. They don't want to be touched down there. But for a lot of lesbians back in the day, it meant weakness. It meant, don't touch me. My needs don't matter. I'm here to please you. I just want to please you. Let me give you everything you want. Let me give you pleasure. And that shit was fucked up. And I'm glad today things are different. It's like a give and take. In some instances, a lot of people just take and they don't even give. And I understand that. But I just want to convey that to y'all. Let y'all know. The age that I grew up in, our needs were never important as lesbian, gay women, butch women. Our needs were never put on the forefront. Our needs were never catered to. We catered to women. And it's almost like we catered to women out of spite for men. Because lesbian women hated men. So they wanted to do what men wouldn't do. So out of spite, they catered to the women way more than they should have. Way more than men ever would have. It's like, even back in the day, it was like a competition. Oh, your man didn't want to eat your pussy? Oh, your man didn't want to pay your bills? Oh, your man didn't want to raise your kids? I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to eat your pussy, pay your bills, and get your groceries. I'm going to mow the lawn and fix your car. I'm going to do your plumbing and fix your roof. Like, it was just like we had to do so much more. And it's crazy. Because that's the type of lesbian I grew up being. Like, I knew lesbians back in the day who could do marble work, concrete work, woodwork, plumbing. They could do everything. Everything. Like they did everything. You ain't even call your baby daddy no more. And you know, honestly, now that I say it out loud, lesbians back in the day learned all that shit. So women didn't have to call their baby daddy. So women wouldn't even think twice about calling their baby daddy or their ex-husband. They're like, fuck it, bitch. I could do it. I could do it. Fuck it. I could do it. I could do it. Like, that's how hardcore us lesbians were back in the day. Like, we learned everything just so yo ass would never be able to call your baby daddy or ex-husband again. And I guess it was out of spite. Lesbians learned how to be the dominant, the head of household. They learned the plumbing, the mechanics, the machinery. They learned how to do the flooring, the roofing. Shit, they even learned how to do math, science, and English. So you would never have to call your baby daddy or ex-husband again. And they did it out of spite. Because they didn't ever want to have you to have to call your baby or ex-husband ever again. So lesbians back in the day put our needs to the side to make sure that whatever she wanted and she needed was taken care of, and her kids. That's the type of fucking environment we grew up in back in the day. And I'm just only speaking on me and my shit from back in the day. Y'all got anything to say? Leave it in the comments. Comments, questions, whatever. Leave it. I'm just speaking on me and mine from back in the day. Share this video. Share it. Do whatever you want to do. Make it viral. Make it viral. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. It's been a good talk. See y'all next time. What you think?